All right, here we are for our first match, green white tokens. Um, okay. Wow. Hand is not great. Five lander with nothing to play until turn five is just not something we can keep. So we gotta send this one back. Um, Unfortunately, I think this one has to go too. If I had an Oath of Nissa, I'd be fine keeping that hand, but a one lander, even if we hit runner, we're just on Nissa. And we'd have to hit three lands in a row to really be cooking, and I don't think um, that's gonna happen. All right, this hand is fine. We got one drop and a two drop. We can find some more gas, and thankfully we're on the draw, so we're only down, basically one card. But oh, Cinderglade. So we're probably against a green red ramp deck here. Um, I'm gonna lead on. What am I gonna lead on here? I'm gonna lead on. See, the thing is, if I Happy Vista and Fortified Village make sequencing your lands a little bit interesting because if I didn't have anything to play here, it would be an easy Vista. Um, but if I play the Village first and Oath, I may not hit another basic to hit Gideon on a curve, which is really, really important. So I think I'm just going to play Vista this turn and not play my Oath because I have a play on turn two for sure that I want to do. Um, I don't necessarily need to be digging toward. Okay, so we're definitely playing against green red ramp. Anyway, we're gonna play our hanger back walker out. Hopefully we hit another two drop here. That would be great. Because then I can level my hanger back walker and play another two drop. Beautiful. So um, the other thing I can do is oath this turn. So I think I am gonna just get in for one with the hanger back walker and play my advocate and oath because Gideon is just the best thing you can do against ramp. It's just very hard for them to deal with him, and making sure that I hit that Gideon on curve, I think is going to be more valuable than having the one extra counter on my Hangerback Walker in the long term. So we could be facing a World Breaker next turn, which is very problematic, but fortunately there's nothing we can do about that. Have to keep playing our cards here. If it's anything but World Breaker, I think we're in really, really good shape. Although I think because he pitched the first one in Tormenting Voice, this is probably World Breaker. Um, that being said, ooh, a Tarka may even be worse. He'll probably kill Hangerback Walker and Gideon here. So this is why I like running my version, which has a couple of main deck declaration stones, because if I wasn't running those cards, I think I would be on basically a zero outer here. um, so let's see. Definitely want to Avacyn this turn. But I think I'm going to wait until he swings in and then try to absorb as much of the damage from Atark as I can with my guys, and then the crackback will be pretty nasty. Anus is renewal. You have lots and lots of life and mana. That's kind of okay. So if he doesn't, oh, and he doesn't swing in with the Atarka. Clever girl. So I'm still gonna play her here. But that was very, very clever of our opponent. Hmm. Well, I think that I wonder how we win here. Because if we make a planeswalker, it's just a major problem here. I think I'm going to Gideon Emblem and pass. Yeah, I really don't think we're winning this game with him at 23 through Anatarka. Um, Particularly because this is probably all the Titans and blast us for 1 million and kill all our creatures. This is a relatively good matchup, generally speaking. Our opponent had a very good draw here. Yeah, that's fine. So against Ramp, Hanger Walkers are pretty poor. Um, Dromoka's commands are they're okay. They counter a lot of the stuff that um, the big burn spell. So the goggles version has a lot of um, leans on burn a lot to finish the game and interact with our stuff early. I basically want everything that can get rid of um, World Breakers and Atarkas and kind of go from there. I don't think, all three Dromoka's commands. So with 3 declarations of Stasis Snare and a couple quarantine fields, we have plenty of stuff to interact with their big threats. And I think we can lean on going wide and getting on the ground early to win these games. It certainly didn't help that we had to mulligan to 5 in game 1, but that happened. Lead on Oath of Nissa here, try to hit another mana source so we can make sure we play our Gideons on curve. Basic land is perfect because then we can make sure that that Canopy Vista comes in untapped on turn 4. 2-drop would be perfect. No, put an Avacyn. Avacyn's pretty good. So here we're going to go Nissa into Gideon, and that's pretty sweet. If we draw another land, you almost always want to lead on your fortified villages. I should have revealed the Canopy Vista. I already revealed, but I think it's a relatively minor thing. As I was saying, you almost always want to lead on your fortified villages because um, the later in the game and the fewer lands you have in your hand, the more likely they are to come in tapped. We're going to Gideon, make a knight, boost the team. Okay, fine. So I think we're just going to start bashing with Gideon here. Our opponent doesn't have any green mana, and they're just in a world of hurt against our Gideon here. Play Avacyn and be in a real good shape to win the game. Goggles, okay. So I'm going to just attack for 9 here, and leave up secure the waste on my end step, and be able to, if he sweeps the board here, has removal for Avacyn, kills planeswalkers. I don't think it even matters, but even in a Tarka or a World Breaker or something, I can just go wide next turn and kill him with tokens. Yeah, so World Breaker will come down. Kozilek's Return will wipe out all my creatures. That's fine. He's going to exile a land. Don't care. I'm going to secure for 5. And then be able to get an emblem and use Nissa to make them huge and kill them with those. So that's a pretty good example of why this is tends to be a pretty favorable matchup for us. Their sweepers, they don't do a heck of a lot, just because, our planeswalkers are still there. Our Avacyn can prevent the damage. Dramoka's Command can prevent the damage. So I think I'm going to run it back for game 3 here, and hopefully we don't have any more mana issues and we can take it down. Okay. This hand's a little interesting. I am going to keep it. I really want to hit a basic land off this Oath. We have Deathcap Cultivator, which means that we can play, if we find a Gideon, we can get ahead of the curve there, or we'll just be a turn ahead on Avacyn. Plus, it's another mana source in case we don't hit a third land right off the bat. To be able to play our spells. So this is perfect. I'm going to take Basic Forest. Turn 2, I'm going to go Forest Cultivator, which gives me Vista Gideon on turn 3, which is just outstanding. Assuming the Cultivator lives, he very well may, shoot it with a, burn spell or something. But if he doesn't, then we're going to have turn 3 Gideon on play. And the Oath of Nissa says that even if, so he's going to kill it. That's fine. Not the greatest thing in the world for us, but again, if our opponent's doing that instead of, ramping or advancing his board, that's fine. Anyway, as I was saying, the Oath of Nissa would make it so that even though I only had green, green, white, and then green or black from the Cultivator, I can still play my Gideon. Opponent has no green mana so far. We're going to play Gideon. We're going to do the same sequence we did last time. Make a knight and then minus Nissa. I think in general that's the best line when you have turn 3 Nissa into turn 4 Gideon. Gives you the option to either start plussing with Gideon and then minus Nissa and just put the maximum amount of hurt on, or you can emblem and then do whatever with Nissa and you've got quite a bit of power and toughness on the board. So opponent is digging here, which is just absolutely great for us. With 1 mana untapped, we should be in very good shape to put this game away. So I'm going to go for the throat here. Make Gideon a creature. Add some tokens. And just do the absolute most damage this turn that I can with Avacyn and Dramoka's Command open. So I think it's going to be very difficult for our opponent to get back in this game. So I think our opponent's best play here is um, World Breaker. World Breaker hits a land, flashes back the Kozilek's Return, hypothetically kills our creatures, but that play is defeated by Avacyn. Um, all the Titans, depending on the targets, we can counter it with Tramoka's Command, and the next turn just attack with Gideon. Uh, Tormenting Voice pitching Chandra is certainly not going to get our opponent there. He's drawing a heck of a lot of cards, but he's going to die with them all in his hand. So, okay, drawing more cards. 3, 4, 5, 6 available. The Chandra. And this is renewal. That puts you at 14. So you're tapped out and dead to Avacyn. Four, 8, 10, 15. All right, GG's. And we are 1-0 with green-white tokens.